Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today, I thought I would jump on the 3.10.1 PTU. That's right, you heard me right. 3.10.1 is on the PTU, and I don't know if everybody can test it. I think anybody can test it. It does have some bug fixes, and I wanted to test out some differences maybe with some of the different missions and some of the bugs that I've experienced in the live server compared to the PTU, the newest patch. Make sure that they're actually fixing stuff. So what I decided to do, since I really like doing the 890 jump missions, I decided I would take an 890 jump mission and I'd kind of compare my feelings on it compared to the previous patch. As you recall, just a few days ago when I did an 890 jump mission in 3.10, the AI was very, very wonky. It was awful, absolutely awful. It was horrible. I don't know how many other ways to say it. I could walk around and just stab them at will. They weren't even firing at me. So there could have been a desync issue maybe with the server. I don't really know what the situation was there. So I'm going to test it out on 3.10.1 and see if there's still some AI issues there. Now, I did attempt to do a couple of other missions in 3.10.1. I did some delivery missions, or attempted to do delivery missions from Walla at one of the ArcCorp mining facilities, and it was bugged. I couldn't retrieve any packages that I needed to run those missions. Once those are fixed, though, I would say ArcCorp may be a fantastic place to do some of those delivery box runs, because you can do a lot of them due to the fact that most of them share same locations, whether it's pick up or drop off. If you can combine 6 or 7 of them, you'll make decent okay money. I don't know how long it'll take to do those. There's obviously going to be ways to make money quicker than just doing delivery runs, but you can string a bunch of them together and make a little bit of money. Nothing like in 3.9 when we had the I guess the kind of gray area, or the the outlaw delivery missions, where you can make 92,000 in about an hour and 15 minutes, depending on how fast you're flying and all that. We have lost those missions for 3.10 when they redid some of the mission stuff. And I think they just saw how we were combining those missions to take advantage of the profits, and they're like, oh, no, we're going to nerf that. Now, actually, they nerfed all the profits in 3.10. You're not going to make as much money as you did in 3.9. Question is, why? Well, I'll do a video on that maybe in the next couple of days. So we'll just leave it at that as an open question. So you can see here, I've got 4 Panthers. These are size 3 repeaters, laser repeaters, and I'm taking on these 2 Cuddy Blacks. Now, they fired 2 missiles at me at the very beginning, and I got struck by at least one of them. So it did some damage. Right now, it seems to be that missiles are doing damage to one shield surface instead of spreading it out over all of them. So that is most likely a bug, and something that they will end up fixing, hopefully sooner rather than later. As you saw what happened with my Car2 Owl yesterday, or 2 days ago, that was the issue. Missiles are impacting one shield face and not all of them when they blow up. So I've dispatched both these Cuddies. Now it's time to board the 890 jump. As you can see, I came in with a little bit of speed. We're going to have to slow that down as we approach the left side docking door. Now, you can approach the 890, of course, from multiple different angles. You can come in from either side or the hangar. I wish you could actually come in from below as well in the cargo area. That would be pretty cool. but those are inaccessible as far as entering them from the outside. It's always good to do these missions here with something like a Cuddy Red, because you'll have the med bed that you can fall back on, so if you die or something, you'll respawn in the med bed. If you do it in a different ship that does not have a med bed, you can make a beeline for the 890 jump medical bay and set that as your respawn point. I do recommend doing that, at least if you've not done these missions before. Even I die on them on occasion. I will actually die in this mission, but I will still complete the mission. As you can see, that broke my legs. Falling in there broke my legs there. I had yellow damage. I was losing health. There's a guy right here. I've never seen somebody, one of the AIs, appear in this tunnel here, I guess you want to call it, or corridor. That's a first. Got a guy right off the bat here. As you can see, I'm using the C-54 SMG from Gemini, and this thing is awesome. I really like this gun. The rate of fire is insane, and if you keep your shots on target, you're going to drop people quick. Decided to use a grenade on this guy. I don't even know if it's going to take him out. I think it bounced too far away from him. The grenades are kind of wonky too because they bounce in crazy directions. Not ideal when you're trying to take people out. I'm going to switch to the Yabarov Electron pistol here to take this guy across the way out. I get to show off some of these new weapons for you guys. To me, the Yabarov actually feels much better now in 3.10.1 than it does in 3.10. I don't know how to explain that. It feels better. It feels like it's doing what it's supposed to, maybe. That guy did shoot at me and put a couple shots in my chest. And unfortunately, I didn't have another med pin right away, so I'm going to hope that I don't get hit again because that could finish me. So we're getting here on the bridge. I'm reloading. No hacking terminal there. Part of the mission here for the 890, if you've never seen it done or if you've never played it, is you have to take out a hacking terminal as well as all the outlaws that are on board. And the hacking terminal can be in any of several different locations. You see me checking room to room here. Those were guest rooms, and I checked those out to make sure that there was no hacking terminal in there because they can be there. And this guy was able to get a shot into me as well. The C-54 did not get the job done on that particular play, but it was more than adequate there. And there's the hacking terminal. So I'm dying, I'm slowly bleeding out, and I don't have a med pin, but I know if I can disable this hacking terminal, then I have as much time as I want to take out the rest of the outlaws. So my goal was to get the hacking terminal aborted so that I could start fresh with full hit points coming out of the Cuddy Red and taking out the rest of the outlaws on the ship. Now you also want to store your gun. If you're going to bleed out like this, store your gun so you don't lose it. A lot of times when you die, you'll lose whatever weapon you have in your hands. And they have this death animation, which was kind of cool because I have not seen that death animation. I know that was something they were talking about adding, and I can't remember where it was on the roadmap, but that was a pretty interesting death animation where I stumbled around and then fell. I wish we could have moved the camera around so you get a more cinematic view of that. That would have been neat. Now, when I got my C-54 back out, the ammo did not stay on the full magazine. So I tried to reload. It did not. I'm going to have to reload again. I won't notice that until I get a little closer to danger here. So now I'm going to go down into the engineering deck. There's usually a handful of bad guys down there. And it is a tricky place to be to do combat. And sometimes there's actually some good guys down in there as well. So you have to be careful that you're not killing the good guys when you're fighting with the bad guys. They're different uniforms. They wear white. The bad guys are usually in some form of death head type armor, but you can see there's just silhouettes more or less here. It's hard to pick up any of the coloring of those armors. Now I know they're bad guys because they've turned to fire at me. It looks like I was able to drop 2 of them. That's that C-54 and its rapid fire rate. It's just absolutely crazy. And that guy was behind cover and he started blasting me. So I used my last med pin there. I'm trying to see if I'll pop his head up, and I'm like, I'm just going to throw a grenade in there. See if he likes that. That was a pretty good throw. It actually ended up where I want. Now they're changing the throw mechanics where you can actually see the, I guess, the path that the grenade will go. And this guy was hiding behind here. I didn't even know he was still hiding there until I got around the corner. And I was able to stab him. He looks like he's alive, but he's not. That grenade killed him, and he just kind of propped up against the crates there. I don't see anybody else, but it says there's 3 more people left. So I'm going to head towards the hangar bay, which is where the good guys are usually at. Oh, they just spawned out of nowhere. These guys just spawned. So now I'm using the P8, and it's pretty deadly as well. It's fast firing. This guy I thought was a good guy, so I came up on him, and it turns out he was not. The backpack has that red glow, so he's definitely a bad guy. So I hit him a couple times with the gun and then stab him with my knife. And that finishes off the last of them. And a little stomp for good measure, you know. You gotta rub it into those outlaws. So another mechanic that they do have in 310, you might have seen or might not have seen, is the body dragging. So you can actually pick up one of these bodies and move them around. You can make a pile of them. You can do all sorts of things. So it's pretty neat that you can do that now. That's just a step right before we can get to like the medical gameplay where you can drag your buddies out of a hallway, you know, back to security, you know, to safety. So yeah, body dragging's in the game, guys. It's a thing. So guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these. I really do appreciate all of you who've been tuning in lately. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you to my Patreon and YouTube members. You guys can join the Patreon and YouTube members. That information's down below. That would be super awesome. Membership for the YouTube members is only like $1 a month. So yeah, check it out. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.